Hello, this is Dr. Jennifer Williams with the JM Institute. I am sharing with you a lesson on how to use the dictionary. Um, the question asked is how many words are there in the English language anyway? Okay, in the Bible, we have a recording of over 8,000 different Hebrew words, over 5,000 different Greek words, and over 12,000 different English words just in the Bible alone. In the English language, since 2009, the number of words in English is over a million. And we reached that million word mark on June 10th, 2009 at 10:22 a.m. Greenwich Mountain Time. Okay. The 1 millionth word was the controversial Web 2.0. A lot of our new words are technology oriented type words, and currently there's about 98 uh, a new word. I'm sorry, a new word created every 98 minutes, or about 14.7 words a day. What is a dictionary? It is a book, okay, giving the meaning and usually the pronunciation of words that are listed in alphabetical order. For example, the Webster's Dictionary for students. I have a copy here. Basically, has about 37,000 words in it. This is the fourth edition. It can also be a reference book that explains words of a particular subject in alphabetical order. For instance, the 21st Century Dictionary of Computer Terms. And it could also be a book that's listing words of one language in alphabetical order with definitions in another language. And I have an example here of the Webster's Spanish English Dictionary. The difference between a dictionary and a thesaurus, and you probably will need to know this, especially if you're having to write up reports for your company or if you're getting further training or going to college or university. You will need a thesaurus. And a thesaurus is a collection of words also, but it's with synonyms. Okay, each word has several synonyms or words that mean the same, but it's a different word. Whereas a dictionary is just the words, a collection of words and their definitions. So a thesaurus would come in handy if you're writing up a report and you don't want to use the same words over and over and over again. You would kind of want to uh, freshen that up with different words, although you would be basically saying the same thing. You need to know, or I suggest you know, the difference between an abridged versus an unabridged dictionary. An abridged dictionary is a shortened version of words in a dictionary that are not more than 200,000 words. So it's not all of the words that are in that particular language or in the English language. For instance, the example that I just showed you, this one, the fourth edition of the Webster's Dictionary for Students, only has 37,000 words in it. Okay. Whereas an abridged dictionary is a complete version of all the words known at that current time. For example, the Oxford's English Dictionary, if you go to one of the public libraries or a library and ask for the Oxford English Dictionary, you're going to find that there are massive volumes of all those words that have been bound in books, okay, 20 volumes or more. I have a copy here, it's pretty heavy, of the Webster's. I got this for $2. It's the Webster's 20th Century Dictionary, unabridged, okay, and the copyright on this is 1964. So, of course, if they're adding a word every 98 minutes, and that was produced in 1964. That is now outdated, doesn't include all the words that have been added since 1964. But that's the difference between abridged versus unabridged. Um, So, how do you use the dictionary? Because you are going to have to be able to look up words. One of the requirements to get or complete your high school diploma is to know at least 100 words that every high school graduate is expected to know. So, when you're using the dictionary, a paper copy of the dictionary, or even an online copy, the dictionary will have start out, each word will have a bold word or bold entry, okay? Everything after that bold word or dark word is going to be related to that particular word. If there's more than two syllables in the word, they're going to be separated by a hyphen, okay? Also, the entry should also include the part of speech that that word represents. For example, if it's a noun or verb or adjective or adverb, and at least one definition of the word needs to be listed. If some dictionaries will also include a synonym for that word, if it is listed, it would either be in all caps, all the letters would be capitalized. All right. And for example, I give you an example here of an entry word called account. It has VB, an italicized VB, meaning that it's a verb, and then it's also hyphenated or the syllables are separated with the past tense of account, which is accounted, and a past tense of accounting. Accounting. Okay, it's not past tense, but accounting. There, notice that this particular entry has four definitions. Okay, and some words will have more than one definition. Number one, account means to think of something, such as to consider. Consider would be a synonym for account. It also means to take into consideration, to give an explanation, or to be the only or chief reason. Um, Now, since we are online, uh, you will be able to use your smartphones or your laptops or Chromebooks or desktop computers to get online and use the online dictionary. So, what is an online dictionary? It's just a website as well that tells you, it's just like a paper dictionary, but it's a database of words that tell you what words mean. I like the online dictionary because it also gives you a pronunciation of the word, so you will know how to pronounce it correctly. Um, it shows you example sentences, how the word is used, and it really helps you to become a better reader and writer. Anytime I'm reading something, reading a book, I always have my cell phone close by. If I don't uh, understand the context of a word, how it's used, I will look that up immediately. So it helps you to become a better reader and also a better writer. Here's an example of going online. You have to open your browser. That could be Google Safari, Opera, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, either on your phone or the computer. And you just go directly to the search box and type in DEF colon, no space, and then the word that you're trying to look up. Okay, in this case, we're looking up the first word that's in the high school diploma workbook one, wrought, WROUGHT. And then you press enter and it will search for that word for you. Um, what it'll bring up is it'll bring up the word, it'll bring up a sound icon, that little image right next to the word that you can click on and see how that word is pronounced. It'll also give you the part of speech that that word is represented by. In this case, wrought could be a verb. It could also be an adjective. Okay. And then it gives you the definition. The definition, it says of metals are beaten out or shaped by hammering. Um, the definition, how to pronounce it, the part of speech, And if you need to know how to use that word in a sentence, you could go up top there where it says usage examples and click on usage examples, and it'll give you examples of sentences on how to use the word wrought. When I think about the word wrought, I think about wrought iron fences, such as if you go to Chicago South Side or any any part of the communities where housing is. A lot of the houses are um, encouched in wrought iron fencing, beautiful wrought iron fencing. Okay, so the word wrought means to beat or shape into, beat out or to put into some sort of shape. So you know that iron, once you put it in the fire, you can shape it, mold it however you want it to be. Okay, so that's the word wrought and how to do it or access it online. Once you once you know what the word means and how to pronounce it, try to pronounce it at least 5 times. As the research says, if you say something at least 5 times, write something at least 5 times, chances are that it will go into the long-term memory of your brain. And even if you're not using it on a daily basis, when you hear that word, it will be recovered. Uh, it will be recovered from your long-term memory. But it's good to practice using the words. Every time you learn a new word, practice using it. Use it on your family, use it on your friends, and write out. You can write out your own sentence, or you can actually use the sentence examples that are given in the dictionary. But practice using the word. And so that is basically this lesson on how to use the dictionary. At this point, remember there are 100 words that every high schooler is expected to know. And so we actually have you learn those words across the workbooks that are presented in this high school diploma completion program. So that's what the go to page 7 in workbook 1 does. It starts, gives you the first list of words that you are supposed to define and also write a sentence using that word. Thank you very much. That ends this lesson.